Welcome to World Team of the Week 6. This one in particular is going to be very interesting because, as you all know by now, there were many shocks, many upsets over the weekend. So, some of the names we're going to see here are names that we may not have expected to see, and we're not going to see as many big teams. As always, like you guys know by now, every week I do this and I read out the 3 names that were voted the most as honorable mentions to make the bench, so that when we get to the end of the season and compile the entire spreadsheets, these guys will also get votes. So, last week's honorable mentions, from reading all the comments, we had Ansu Fati, of course, the comeback. He's bagging goals and whatnot for Monaco. He's living his life out there. We had Rashford, who was, of course, going crazy. Champions League, got the assist in the league, kind of got the assist. They didn't really give it because of the deflection, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, you get the point. And lastly, another Barca player, Frankie de Jong, deserves his flowers as well for getting back to what we hope to be his best form. Anyway, like I said, there were many shock results this weekend, so we are going to see maybe a few smaller teams in there. However, in goal, I'm going for the team that just won the Premier League, because Alisson is our keeper of the week. Yes, a player who lost is in my team of the week, because if you watch the game, this is what I mean. It's not about reading your Excel spreadsheets and just counting who kept a clean sheet, but they made 1 save or 2 saves or whatever. This guy was Titanic. He was saving the Titanic even on top of that. Bro, half time, they should have been packing their bags and getting on the bus to go back to Merseyside, bro. The way that Palace were patting their heads. It could have been 4, 5. I don't want to say 6, 7 because you guys, again, you're too childish, so I can't say that. But it could have been out of sight by that point, and Alisson was the only reason why Liverpool remained in the game. Obviously, in the end, they lost. I'm not really going to put the goals, down to him. Realistically, there's not much you could do about it. So, Alisson's our keeper, showing why, yet again, he is the best keeper in the Premier League by quite some margin. And now, this next part might be controversial because I said best goalkeeper in the league by a margin. I think we're looking at the best right back in the league by quite a margin as well. I know one fan base won't be happy with it, but Hoodie and Timber, I've been saying it for a year and a half, for I don't even know how long now, yeah? And they keep on saying pause, you can't say that. This guy's hips are like Shakira, bro. They don't lie. Go and ask Joe Linton now if Timber's hips lie. Because guess what? He made Joe Linton do the splits. This big, NBA, whatever, WWE, WrestleMania superstar Joe Linton was doing the splits when Timber tried to do him up. Bruno Guimaraes, someone that, again, he loves a cheeky RKO. He's pumping up the crowd, saying, yeah, come on. He was doing that whilst Timber was putting the ball through his legs. And one thing about Timber, we've always said that, like, defensively 1v1 clamps, right? But going forward now, I don't know if it's Gabriel Heinze teaching him, I don't know what's happening, but he's now getting that deadly whipped cross in his arsenal, pardon the pun. So, Urian Timber, again, complete nullified Newcastle. Obviously, Newcastle scored a goal, but I think, I'd argue, it was one of Arsenal's best performances, both going forward and especially defensively. Raya barely had to work, bar, obviously, the Voldemort goal. In centre-back, I had 3 options here. So again, as always, leave your comments in the... Leave your honorable mentions in the comments below. Your 3 names, because again, I do read them. So another reason why you subscribe, because we're on the road to 50k. The more you man comment, the more the algorithm boosts, you know what I mean? So tell me what you had for lunch, tell me what you're having for dinner today, tell me what team you support if you got 3 points. Comment whatever you want, I don't care. Even, no, don't abuse me actually, be nice to me, innit? Be polite. But the more comments, the more likes, the better. Anyway, in centre-back, we're going to fly to Germany. We're going to Jonathan Tah, who scored a goal and kept a clean sheet as Bayern won 4-0 against Werder Bremen. It is an interesting one, Jonathan Tah, because again, I felt like he was kind of finito, right? Last couple of years, I was like he's doing his thing, he's surviving. But last season, I wasn't really moved. But hey, to be fair to him in this game, he done his job. And our left centre-back, this is where I had some difficulties. And again, let me know if you think I'm being fair here. I was picking between Bastoni and Gabriel. Bastoni, of course, playing as usual for Inter, keeping a clean sheet. He's got a nice passing range. We know how good Bastoni is by now, right? Doesn't need to be explained further. Gabriel's one is strange, and I think I am going to edge towards Gabriel, and I'm going to explain why, and then maybe you can hear me out. I think the first goal is shameless from him trying to ask for a foul, right? I don't think you should be asking for a foul when someone has their hands, on your back. I've seen people push. I've seen him push even and, you know, get away with it because it's not enough contact. So that was poor. However, in the 90 minutes, again, barely anything went past him. He was a titan at the back, clearing everything, heading everything away. You know, again, he had the beef and whatnot with Voltemada. And in the end, he said, you know what? Okay, you don't want to shake my hand? It's fine. I'm going to go and score the goal. Now, come and shake my hand as I'm shushing the entire crowd. So I think you've made up for the mistake and you've got the winning goal in a huge game for Arsenal. We don't know how big it will be come May, but Arsenal don't really come back and win games like that, especially like in the last year or two. Maybe 22-23, there was those crazy comebacks, and 23-24 as well, actually, with Declan Rice. But recently, they haven't been doing that, and Gabriel obviously came up clutch. So, you know, I'll give him the spot just about narrowly. And at left back, again, more debates. I could have gone with Tyrick Mitchell of Crystal Palace, but I am going to go, we're going to fly to France and, you know, diversify. We're going to go Tagliafico, who went away Lille and won 1-0, kept a clean sheet, and got the only assist of the game as well. So, you know, shout out to him. Again, still going strong after all these years. Lyon doing their thing. And again, you know me, again, they claim I'm a fan of every team. But, you know, me and Lyon, after they invited me, I got like a nice soft spot for them. I hope they can do well this season. Maitland-Niles at right back again doing his thing. But like I said, I wanted to go Tyrick Mitchell because I think he was fantastic against Liverpool. But I'm going to go with someone who's his teammate as the first midfielder. We're going Adam Wharton. We are going Adam Wharton. Get used to seeing that Palace badge because maybe in a while it might be a Madrid badge. I think I said, what week was it I said it? Was it week 2, week 1? I can't remember what week, maybe last season. I said this guy's going Real Madrid, yeah. Save the interview, book the interview. I can't lie, man. Especially watching Madrid this past weekend and the last season, to be fair, since Kroos has gone. Adam Wharton would be the perfect midfielder for Real Madrid, but because he plays for Palace and his name is Adam, people don't want to rate it. But again, this guy schooled Liverpool's midfield, absolutely toyed with them. And I repeat, it's just the way that, like, he makes the right pass every time. It's something that you cannot quantify, right? I don't have a Excel spreadsheet to show you pass accuracy or whatever, because some guys you can pass backwards and then you got 99%. Every time he's looking, boom, forward, forward, forward. Incisive passes. Big respect to him. Even bigger respect to the man partnering him in midfield, a guy in his 40s. We fly to Italy. We're going with Luka Modric. What is bro doing in a team of the week in 2025? I'll tell you what he's doing. He's arguably captaining this team with how well he played this weekend. Especially considering, of course, a lot of the conversation beforehand was about, obviously, Napoli are top. It's KDB v Modric, two of the best midfielders of the last, let's say, 8-9 years, whatever you want to call it. Modric absolutely patted his head, bro. KDB looked lost out there. And again, Modric is like, I saw what some of the Milan fans on Twitter, they were saying, you don't realize how good he is until he plays for your team, and you're seeing it like benefit you. You're like, oh, hold on a minute. Yeah, fair enough, this guy's really, really good. And we repeat, bro, for a Napoli team who we've all spoken about how strong their midfield is, they were nothing for Modric, bro. McTominay couldn't do nothing, Anguissa couldn't do nothing, Lobotka couldn't do nothing, KDB was just spamming crosses for no reason, not going anywhere. Modric was the star of the show as Milan won that game, so big respect to him. I'm going to rearrange it slightly because in the 10, we're going to Germany, we're going for a Turkish player, 19 years of age. Can Uzun, another Turkish superstar. What are they going to do with all these players, bro? Can even produce some centre-backs or something, or some full-backs? We're seeing Uzun, Arda Güler, we're seeing Kenan Yildiz, everyone just going crazy. I think Uzun had to get it for this week in particular. Again, on the stats, it's only 1 goal, 1 assist, sure, but he had a massive hand as Eintracht Frankfurt went 6-0 up away Mönchengladbach. When do you ever see a team 6-0 up away from home? And then guess what? You might tell me, oh, but it was 6-4, so was that important? He went off at 6-0. And then they scored the 4 goals. He went off at 6-0 and then they scored the 4 goals. So I hope you guys can understand from a midfield perspective why I've gone with this trio. Again, there were so many options that I wanted to go with. Of course, Pedri's doing his thing as per usual. Frankie again. I can't put Pedri every single week. Unfortunately, Barca fans, you have to understand that there are other teams in the world as well, right? It's not just the Barcelona 11. So this week, me personally, I don't think Barca were as good as previously. I don't know if you guys think I'm being a bit harsh there. I feel like you beat Sociedad, but it was like nobody really stood out for me, right? Like you could argue maybe Koundé, but then he was at fault for the goal as well. I don't really think anybody stood out from Barca for me this week across their 2 games. So for this week, please, if you want to give them honorable mentions, by all means, feel free. But I had to go with these guys because trust me, the guys that even missed out, I wanted to get John McGinn in there because midweek Europa League, he scored the goal for Villa, and then on the weekend he scored the goal to go ahead with the 2-1 goal, right? Yeah, he scored the 2-1 goal to essentially give Aston Villa their first one of the season, but Modric had to get in. I wanted to get Granit Xhaka in there of Sunderland, who is going from strength to strength. Even he's kind of getting on in age a little bit, and he's got Sunderland chilling in 3rd, 4th Champions League spaces, bro. So you can see why midfield is very difficult for me. Up front, I've cheated a little bit because there were some good forwards that were playing left wing or striker or second striker, whatever you want to call it. So I've cheated at the right wing to go to Spain and get Julian Alvarez to do his is that even the Spider-Man? Is that the right thing? I think I'm doing it right. I don't even know. Obviously, Real Madrid Atleti was maybe the big surprising result of the weekend, and he had a big hand in that. The penalty is a penalty, like is what it is. You know, we're not going to gas it up too much, but a free kick to beat Courtois, we know how tough that is, right? Not many people do that. Obviously, we know, you know, Declan Rice way back in the day, for those of us who remember, he did it. But in general, you know, Alvarez, fair play. It's the way he's pressing. He's just letting off shots from everywhere. I think he deserves to get a spot. We'll put him like just off the striker, if you want. That striker, I think we gave him a couple honourable mentions. It was tough to squeeze him in, but this time, no, I think it's back-to-back weeks for Harry Kane, actually. I think it's back-to-back team of the weeks for Harry Kane. And rightly so, to be honest with you. He scored his 100th goal for Bayern this past week. Oh, it was Friday, actually, wasn't it? Weekend. Friday, weekend, you get what I mean. He scored his 100th goal already, breaking the records for the fastest to get to 100 goals of Erling Haaland, obviously of City, and Cristiano Ronaldo as well, which is insane, by the way. Obviously, slight Bundesliga tax, let's be honest. It's not the hardest league in the world, but if it was so easy, everyone else would be doing the same thing, and they're not. So you have to respect what Harry Kane is doing here. Let's see it in the bigger games, what's going to happen in the Champions League knockouts and that kind of stuff. But again, another brace. Yes, a penalty is involved, but you have to give Harry Kane his flowers when necessary. And on the left, the last spot we have, again, let me know honorable mentions because there were a lot of names, bro. Even up front, I could have gone Mbappe because in midweek, he was crazy. Let's not forget, in midweek, Mbappe was really good. But then on the weekend, he scored a great goal, but they lost. So I don't think I could have gone Mbappe when he won one, lost one, despite scoring. Maybe I could have squeezed Mbappe, maybe. Igor Thiago crashed it on United moving like Pele in 1958, for those of us who remember. Danny Welbeck crashing it on Chelsea. There was a lot of strikers in that left wing. I'm still torn even right now. I've got 2 names, I'll tell you them. Christian Pulisic, the LeBron James of soccer. I think it's who I'm going to go for. But I do want to give a shout out to Doku, who, again, only got 1 assist against Burnley, but it's another one where watch the game and you understand that, like, it wasn't just, you know, I showed up for 1 goal or whatever. He was terrorizing Burnley for a lot of the game. And again, the only reason why I think I'm going to edge towards Pulisic is because Doku's done it against a Burnley team with Kyle Walker at his big age still at right back. And I think Milan's game against Napoli maybe was far bigger and therefore just about takes that spot. I don't know if I'm being fair. Again, let me know your opinions. As always, this is not like meaning that I'm, you know, the most logical person in the world or whatever, and my team is my team and no one else can be correct. You can have your teams. You can have 3 players that you think should be better. Let me know your entire 11 if you want as well. And of course, well, just to quickly mention in case you didn't watch the game, a crazy assist to start with where he literally bombs down the wing like 40-50 yards, cuts it back to Salamanca's, scores the goal, and then gets his own goal shortly after with a nice little... It wasn't that great, to be fair. It was a bit of a slightly lucky goal in terms of how it went in, but the build-up play was fantastic for it. So big up to them. And now a gaffer of the week. We could have gone Glasner for beating Liverpool. There's a few guys we could have gone for here, but I think I'm going to go Simeone because under a lot of pressure, with everyone hating on him, saying it's time to go, you know, Grim Reaper's knocking, it's your time to go, he's wearing the black suit, he absolutely taught Alonso a lesson that hopefully Alonso will learn from and realize, okay, cool, can't do that again. But yeah, Simeone, he's back from the dead like Undertaker, the streak is back, Atleti are maybe back, and I will be back tomorrow with some Champions League predictions. So go follow the Twitch, because as you know, between 4:30, 5 o'clock type of thing, I always tend to do our match of the day highlight streams where we're going to watch all these players in the Premier League highlights, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga, and etc. Discuss who played good, who played bad. So go follow my Twitch. It's the same username as on YouTube. Keep subscribing. My question for today: what are your score predictions for Everton West Ham tonight? Other than that, I'll catch you man in a bit. Bosh.